So we actually were very transparent about this. So we
Right.
basically issued a press release saying, a year before we launched,
Okay.
we went to the FCC, we went to Congress, we showed everybody what we intended to do. And the idea was, look, tell us, give us a theory why we are wrong. And if we're wrong, we won't do it.
Right.
But give us a theory why we're wrong. And nobody did. And in fact, the FCC said, man, this kind of makes sense, totally cool. And
When they said kind of makes sense, what did they think? Articulate it more completely.
well, it aligned with so many aspects, right? So the FCC was interested, for example, and it still is obviously in incentive auctions. And the
Right.
idea was, now if you have efficient pickup technologies that are independent of where the broadcast spectrum is allocated, how it's packed. So if you want to pick up on high VHF, which is not used for broadband wireless,
Right.
you can, and in fact we do. So the idea that you have modern technology that will still enable the consumer to get free to air, but free up valuable spectrum on the higher ends of the frequency,
Right.
they're like, oh, this makes
We
kind
can
of
sell
sense.
more spectrum.
We sell more spectrum,
There you
and it's, and we went to all the networks and we told them what we were going to do, and
Right.
sort of didn't get a response. It was always sort of, that's kind of interesting. Some of them said, would you take money from us, or the usual
Right.
shtick.
Right.
And we said, no, we're fine. And so we built a prototype.
Right.
We got a couple thousand customers in New York using it just to test. And then the race was on in our mind because we had to go from that prototype to a production capable system.
Yes.
And this was sort of the classic Barry problem. And so I said, well, we should do this in a measured way. And he's like, well, do you think you're right? I'm like, of course. Like, well, why would you do it in a measured way? We should go big. So we had to race like mad within 12 months to convert that prototype into a production-ready system, which was quite a feat for us, because we created the antennas, we created all the proprietary signal processing that goes behind it, we created all the transcoding that goes behind it, all the DVR systems, everything is homegrown.
Interesting.
And we built that in about an 18, 24 month. And it's an amazing piece of technology that came together so quickly. And I think a lot of it was just the team was experienced, and we had a lot of resources, and we knew where the market, how to build the products. And
Right.
anybody who's dealt with even a simple DVR will tell you just building a multi-tuner conflict management system is a nightmare.
Even understanding what you just said is
Right.
close.